Hello viewers, my name is Judith Akinyin, Judith Down the Villages. Today it's cold. As you can see, I have my shawl on. I'm in Mariakani and it's very cold. I've been sitting and thinking, wow, what am I going to do today? Kenya, we are in a situation that we are waiting for our presidential elections to be announced, and it's like people are stuck in the house. So I'm here thinking of what to do, but I have something. I want to tell you a story. Be with me as I'll tell you a story about my childhood. If you were to rewind your clock and take it back when you were a child, where could you stop that clock and just think the memorable time when you were a child? Each and every one of us was a child, and we have our memorable time when we were children. That's where I want to take you. When I was a child and my memorable time, because I've rewinded my clock and that's what I want to see. How was my childhood? Now, I kindly ask you to stay with me and kindly subscribe to my channel. If you are new here, consider subscribing. If you've been here and you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel so that you can help my channel grow. And if you will like this video, please continue watching it to the end. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up. I want to rewind my clock. When I was born. I was born 60 years ago in Pumwani maternity. My parents lived in Nairobi. To be precise, Ziwani Estate. This can tell you that it was not a rich family, but just a moderate one. And this is where now I want to go. That time, how I was as a child. I started my schooling in Ziwani Day Nursery School. Then I proceeded to class 1 in St. Bridget's Primary School, that is along Rescos Road. St. Bridget's was just a neighbor to Starehe Boys Center. And then there are schools along that road. There's Dr. Agre, there's Muslim, and there's Pumwani. So that's where I went to school, St. Bridget's Primary School. And that is where my memorable time is and what I want to share with you. I joined St. Bridget's in 1967, class 1 to 1973, where I sat for my CPE, that is Certificate of Primary Education. By that time, there was no pre-unit. From nursery, you go to class 1. That is where I was from class 1 to class 7. In my extracurriculums, I like sport. I played netball and basketball, and I was always in the school team. And the most I can remember in basketball, when we could go to Shaurimoyo YMCA to play basketball, and that time we could clinch cups for our school in Shaurimoyo YMCA. Our school was known to be the best, especially girls basketball was the best in that time at YMCA Shaurimoyo. Now, sports aside, I was also in the school choir. And I can remember when I was in upper primary and the lower primary were going to sing, or they were going for music participation, and I was taken out of class to go and do a lead, especially the folk song for the lower primary. So that is a memorable time because by that time I was always a lead in school. When any song is being sung, it was either me or there was another friend. She was called God River. So we could interchange. If it's not me leading, it's God River leading. The most memorable part was when we could go to Gatundu. Gatundu was a place that choir members could go every weekend when the president is around, just to go and entertain him. And our school was one of the schools that was always being chosen to go to Gatundu. And I can remember we went to Gatundu like 4 times just to go and entertain the president. And what I liked most, we were given new uniform. Whenever we could go to Gatundu, we were always given new school uniform. The girls had a red tunic and a white blouse, white socks, black shoes, and red sweaters. The boys were with red shorts, white shirts, gray socks, red sweaters, and black shoes. And when we come back, the uniform is yours. And I really liked that, being in the school choir, and mostly when we were going to Gatundu. One time we went to Gatundu, and this time Godriva was chosen to be a lead. So I said, okay, I did like it because I would always like to be a lead. But since Godriva was chosen to be a lead by our choir master, we went because you had to agree who is chosen to be a lead. But as we went near the dais and we were singing, 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 and something just came up my mind, and I went up the dais, bowed down to the president, and asked him to come and dance with us. The president came and we were dancing, 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 and everybody was just laughing. I could remember the President Uhuru Kenyatta was still a young boy. And there's this picture that it's always in my eyes, just seeing him seated just beside his father. And those were the nice, memorable time I liked. Whenever we could be told we are going to Gatundu, it is like, hey, you are going to heaven. Just imagine that when you are a child, when you are told you are going somewhere and you are really waiting for that time to come. Even if you are told you are going to travel, what you are waiting for is that day to come, to go to Gatundu. The president by that time was the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. We know he was the father of our current president, Uhuru Kenyatta. Our choir master was Mr. Njoroge and Madame Elizabeth, and I can still remember them so well. And it's just a nice, memorable time in my mind each and every time I think about how we were going to Gatundu. Everyone has a memorable time. You know your memorable time. You know how when you click or rewind the clock back, you just sit and think about your memorable time, especially when you were a child. This was my memorable time that I always like rewinding my mind to. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for being with me. Once again, if you liked this video, kindly give me a thumbs up. If you are new here, consider subscribing. If you've been here and you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to help my channel grow. Thank you, and let's meet on my next video.